Wow.
Hey lovelies, it's your girl Maya Marie, and I'm so excited today because I'm trying a brand new hairstyle that I've never done before. And this is the Cassie Braids. I guess that's what we call them. I don't know what else to call them. These, if you haven't seen them before, is the braids on the side and the quick weave with sewing on the other side. And you really gotta rock it. You really gotta have the confidence to rock. Let me stop. So I watched a few YouTube videos and a few TikToks and looked at a few pictures on Pinterest. And we going with the flow. That's usually what I do anyways. I have a lot of confidence with this hairstyle, and I hope I don't jinx myself saying that. I'm just really nervous about how the sew-in / quick weave is going to mesh with the braids. I'm going to be doing a quick weave today because I don't expect this hairstyle to last long, just because my hair gets frizzy fast with braids. Okay, so I got 2 bundles of hair. One is Duvessa. They did not have body wave. This is Paris wave. So I will be curling it myself. And then we got body wave organic color 613. I wanted to add a splash of blonde in there. So these are 2 different curl patterns. I'm not nervous. I'm trying to put it out there. I hope it don't look crazy, but once we curl it, maybe it'll all come together. I don't know, we're risking it today. We just taking a risk today. All right, all or nothing. Let's go. All right, first things first, with this hairstyle, you need to pick which side you want to have your part on. And I suggest giving yourself a deep side part because I like the look when the hair is coming into the face. So in order to get that look, you gotta have a deep part. So once you pick your side, make sure you curve it a lot. That is very important. Honestly, I feel like I didn't curve it enough. I feel like I could have given it a deeper curve. And then once you get to the middle of your head, you just part it straight down. So I am starting on the side of the braids. And when I do this, I make sure to take my time with the parts to make sure they're clean. And as you can see, I'm doing flat twists. I'm not starting the braids because I want to part my entire head to see what it would look like, how clean the parts are, if they are straight, before I actually take time to do the neat braids. So each braid, I decided to do about ½ an inch in width. You can choose to do it bigger, smaller, however you want. But make sure that they are equal in size all the way up the head. Also, when you get to the front of your head, you don't want your braids parted straight back, if that makes sense. You want it to go into a curving line, just like your first part that you did, to separate between the quick weave and the braids. So as you can see, I'm using the 2 mirror method. That's when you have a mirror in front of you and behind you so you can see the back of your head. I also did not take out the part where I was so tired because I wanted to show that this is not easy. And a lot of videos, tutorials make things seem like it's easy when it's not. So this is like full transparency, wanted to put it out there. But look how crisp that part came out, like it's all worth it. Anyways, so when I part, I am starting with a clean slate, right? So I go ahead and part my section. I add a little bit of gel to that part and then I clean it up. Adding that gel really makes sure that those little small hairs are where they are supposed to be. And if you do not have 2 mirrors so that you can see when you're parting, that's okay. If you have 2 devices, say an iPhone and a laptop, an iPhone and an iPad, FaceTime yourself, have the iPad or laptop sitting behind you, or even better, if you have an Apple TV, you can screen share to your TV so that you can see it even clearer. I've tried all these methods and they have been successful. If you are in need of a cornrowing tutorial, I do have one video and it's very detailed. It's for beginners, so go ahead and check that out. So repeat this process. Don't forget to take your baby hairs out, and remember that you start out with baby hairs, but as time goes, when you're wearing this style, more baby hair will come out naturally, so just keep that in mind. But as you go up the head, make sure your curves are curvier, I guess. That's probably not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Make sure you curve each braid more and more as you go up your head while you are doing your flat twist. have started with the braiding process. Again, if you need a tutorial on cornrows, I do have that video. Also, take your time when doing the cornrows. That's first and foremost. Your arms will get tired. Take a break. So I tried to do stitch braids, but I am not the best at it. My attempt was using my pinky fingernail as a guide to making those stitches, making those parts every single time I braided down, if that made sense. I hope that made sense. There are also tools out that you can use. If you search up stitch braid helper, they have these little rings, metal rings that you can use. So that's helpful. You can also use a comb if you have it to make those little parts. I've seen some people actually make the parts before they braid it, and it has come out very clean. So there are various techniques to this. Also, applying a lot of gel to each braid before you start the cornrowing process will make your braid come out cleaner. So I did not record my entire process of doing the braids. However, this is my last braid, and I will say that the braiding part takes the longest of the hairstyle. So once you're done with this, you are over halfway done with the hairstyle. Congratulations. Alright, so the next step, you're going to take a small chunk of hair from the front right next to that first braid, the smallest piece, right? But it needs to be skinny, but it needs to be long, because when we glue down these tracks, we need enough hair to cover the tracks at the front. So I just did a little flat braid to get it out the way, and now I'm using gel to push my baby hairs back. And now I am starting on the quick weave side of my head. So also I want to add that whenever I do any type of quick weave, sew-in technique, the braids are going to braid into each other to make one large braid. So what I mean is I'm braiding, and then once I'm done with one braid, I move to the next one, obviously. And while I'm braiding that one, I add the end of the last braid into this one and braid down, and keep doing that for all of them. And at the end, you should have one large braid, which, as you saw, I just used a bobby pin and clip that in there. Very simple. You can sew that down if you want to, but you don't need to. I'm doing honestly decently large braids because I know that the hair that I'm using is wavy, and I'm going to add some body waves to it. Now if you have straight hair that's going to go on this side of your head, the braids need to be smaller. If you have yaki texture or really curly hair that's going to go on this side, you also don't have to worry about the size of your braids. What you see me doing here is outlining to let myself know where to stop adding the protective shield that you see right here. I used a white eyeliner. You could use white eyeshadow, whatever you got, honestly. Concealer, because it's not going to show. So again, I did that to let myself know this is the stopping point of where I need to add my protective shield and my glue. And I add a lot of protective shield. I am just overly cautious about it. I don't want to get glue on my hair. So you will see that I am doing 2 layers of the protective shield. I'm doing it obviously only on the side where I want the quick weave at, from the front all the way to the back. It's important to really let this dry so that it can become hard and an actual shield before moving on to the glue. So I blow dry this for about 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be too hot. It can honestly be on cool. So I am using Duvessa 1B. This is not Body Wave. I wish I could have used that, but they did not have that at my beauty supply. But I thought that was okay because I plan on curling the hair anyways. And this is the hair glue that I'm using. Very cheap, very easy to use. And so yeah, I would rate this hair, honestly, no complaints, 9 out of 10. It did not shed, it did not tangle easy, it held a curl actually very well, so I do recommend this hair. It was not the most affordable, but it was human hair, so starting at the back of the head, making sure that you apply the first track slightly underneath that braid so that you don't see that gap when you cut the wig cap off. Make sure to measure first, cut, then apply the glue to the track as you see me doing here, and carefully stick that bad boy on to that area where you just measured it. Very quick and easy, as it's supposed to be. And I continue doing this as I'm making my way up the head, and you don't really have to worry about curving it until you get towards the middle of the head, because this is a side. Oh, hold up now. We got the blonde. We brought the blonde out. This is Organique. What is it? 613. And I did this because I wanted to add some highlights. I've never had blonde highlights before, so I'm like, let's give it a try. And I loved it so much. The blonde is very bold color, so I did not need a lot of it, but I only had 2 packs. So I think that was one mistake that I made, is having 2 packs of hair and one of them being my highlights. I used the whole bundle of my black Duvessa, but I did not use the whole pack of my organic blonde bundle. So it did cause the hair, the quick weave, to be a little bit on the thin side. I wanted it to be more full, but it still came out pretty cute. I did 1 layer black, 1 layer blonde, and I kept repeating that until I got to the top of my head, towards the top. I won't say at the top, towards the top. Once I got towards the top of my head, I just did black so that it can give the highlight look instead of just like black and blonde, like too much blonde, if that makes sense. And so as you can see, I'm curving the track as I'm making my way up my head, because this is a side part and we want the hair to lay in front of the face, very cute. So in order to do that, you have to give it a nice C curl as you make your way up, as you can see me doing here.
And when we're making love, your cries, they can be heard from far and wide. It's only the 2 of us. Everything I need between those thighs. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need. Every time I get a bit inside, I feel it.
Alrighty, so once you get to the top of your head, it should look like this. And so that'll leave room for 1 small little piece of track to be stuck right there. And so if you remember earlier, I mentioned that you want to have a little bit of your own hair left out and a skinny but long piece that goes from the top of your head to the middle of your head. And that is because we want that piece, the flat twist that you see right here, to cover that track. So the next step before we get to that is cutting the wig cap. This is the easiest part. So just go around your head and carefully cut as close as possible.
When I come around, somebody fill you up, then I take it down. I want you love when I come around. Somebody fill you up, then I take.
Alrighty, so now we got a good look of the hairstyle, really. But I did want to say, I didn't really need this much leave out. Like, it could have been a skinnier piece, honestly, because the hair just fell so nicely in front of my face that a lot of leave out wasn't needed. Now, leave out was needed. I'm not saying no leave out was needed, because again, those tracks needed to be covered, but not as much. And my hair reverts very fast because it's fine. So that's another reason why I did not need to leave as much leave out. So I had to get different lengths of hair between the blonde and the Duvessa 1B. So I had to do a good amount of cutting. And this is my heat protector that I'm showing you. Don't forget about that heat protector. And yeah, I'm just flat ironing it, and I'm just doing it straight because later you're gonna see that I end up using flexi rods to curl it. Also, you will see that I will start layering it because obviously my leave out is short in the front. So I want it to mesh well, and so I cut layers. This is my good old wax stick that I just use to make sure the frizzies are out of the way. And if you want some extra coverage, then you can get yourself a hot comb. I did not have one at the time, so I had to use this flat iron. I can confidently say that cutting layers is my most favorite part of the hairstyle because it just makes it come together so beautifully and gives it a professional look to it. So I'm taking my shears, and side note, you can use a different tool that's easier to use that I will be showing in a few seconds. If you are a beginner or if you feel like you're scared you might mess up, you can use this tool. But what I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm not chopping. I'm not like actually cutting the hair. I'm just like making small little cutting motions. I know that's not really making sense, but the visual is giving you a better representation of what I'm trying to say. So this is the tool that I was just talking about that's easier to use. It's basically just a razor and it has two sides to it, and this will like accomplish that layer look that you want without you messing it up. So I'm starting from the top where my hair is at. Right under where my hair stops is where I'm starting the layers, and I'm just going down the hair, like just very simple like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the layering. So now I'm doing the flexi rods, and I got my favorite hairspray, Sebastian hairspray, and yeah, like just watch me work my magic. I love the flexi rods because yes, I do sleep in it overnight. It's not the most comfortable, but it's great for your hair because you're not adding heat every day. It lasts. It's easy to do. If you don't know how to curl, this is your jam right here. And the waves that it gives you, the big loose body waves, that's the look that these flexi rods give. These are the thickest ones that I could find. Go to your local beauty supply and get the thickest ones that you can find. So I slept in it, like I said just now, overnight, because that's the only downside of the flexi rods, is having to keep them in. If you don't sleep in them, I suggest keeping them in for at least 5 hours. So yeah, this is me the next day, just taking it out. I was a little funky about my leave out because like I said, my hair reverts so fast, but I ended up getting an anti-frizz spray. I very much suggest doing that. Anti-frizz, anti-humidity spray. And yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys found this video very useful, and let me know what style you want to see next.